Hi, my name is Mitchell, I'm founder of Secure Metrics, and I'm going to quickly show you how to get the Prowler Multicloud CIS benchmarks Power BI template set up and loaded. The first thing you're going to need to do is download Microsoft Power BI Desktop. It's a free software from Microsoft. So if you don't already have it, head over to Microsoft's downloads and download that software. The second thing we'll need is to actually run compliance scans in Prowler. There's two ways to do that. The first is using the CLI, and so there's a compliance flag we can run or option we can run in the CLI to run a scan against a compliance framework. So check out the Prowler CLI documentation for more details on how to run that. The other way, which is a lot quicker, a lot simpler, is to use the Prowler SaaS platforms. That's at prowler.com. And anytime you run a scan, it'll also be generating the compliance outputs that we need. The outputs are CSV format. And so to download those, you'll just go to the compliance tab in Prowler SaaS, select the scan that you had ran. You'll see all the compliance frameworks, and there'll be a nice little download button there for you to download the CSV output. Regardless if you're using the CLI or you're using the SaaS platform, you'll need to make sure you download the correct benchmark template since Prowler supports multiple versions of the benchmark. This template will support the most recent versions, and so check the documentation or the README for this actual Power BI template. It'll show you and list you exactly which versions are supported. So make sure you're not downloading the wrong version or running the wrong version in the CLI, or the template won't work. Once we have those outputs, we're going to create a local directory on our local device here. So you can see I've done that. Called it Prowler Output. You can name it whatever you would like. And if we hop in here, we're just going to place the CSV files we have into this folder or directory on our local device here. You can rename them, so you can see I renamed some of these here. The important thing to keep in mind, if you are renaming them, you must keep the provider, the cloud provider's name exactly as it is when you download it. So it'll be all lowercase, either Azure spelled out, Kubernetes spelled out, GCP spelled out, or AWS spelled out. That's how the template's understanding what provider that this actual output is for. You do not need to have all four providers. So if your organization's only in Azure and AWS, or even only AWS, you can just load CSV outputs for those providers, but it will support Azure, Kubernetes, GCP, and AWS. The other thing to keep in mind is there are some time intelligence features built into the report. So that's where we're saying, hey, what's our overall compliance percent over time? Are we trending up? Are we trending down? And so for those, you'll just load up multiple CSV files from different scan dates. So if you're running it in the CLI, you'll run a scan, then maybe next month, next week, tomorrow, whatever your scan frequency is, we'll run another scan. We'll just keep loading all those up, and the report will ingest that data, understand the different scan dates, and build that timeline for you. In the Prowler SaaS, you can select the different scan dates, and so you'll just download those scans from those different scan dates and drop them in here. If you're just running based off of a single scan date, so a single point in time, you can just load up one. You'll just lose some value in that time intelligence, but that's just fine. Once we have that, we're actually going to go back here and we're going to copy the path. We want the full path of this folder. And then we're going to launch the Power BI template file. So you can grab this either from the Prowler GitHub repo or off of the Secure Metrics website at securemetrics.io. And we're just going to launch that, and it'll load up Power BI desktop for us, and it's going to prompt us for that file path. So we'll wait for that prompt coming up here soon. There it is, and we're just going to paste that file path in. Now I want you to stop right here. If we do what I just did there to get that file path, where we right click, copy as path, it's going to automatically include these quotation marks. We do not want those. So we're going to delete those even if you have spaces. I have a space here, so it's quite natural, right, to wrap it in quotations. We don't want those quotations. And then the other thing is this needs to be a full file path, not a relative file path, starting at the root directory here. So we'll just click load, and it's as simple as that. It'll ingest the data, do the data transformations, populate and build our report here in Power BI Desktop. And we can see it loaded up here. We can jump across the different tabs here. What I want you to do before anything else is go to File, Save As, and save that as a new report. And then you can use that Power BI template file that we used to launch this. You can use it again. So if you have multiple clients or multiple regions, or you want to create different dashboards for different groups of data, you just double click that Power BI template file, load it up, provide a path, and then save it as a new report. So that's how you get it set up. From there, you can do anything you do in Power BI, publish it to the Power BI service, and host it online, embed it in Microsoft Teams, distribute it across your teams. But pretty straightforward and pretty awesome. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, check out the documentation or definitely reach out.